I remember sitting on my parents' porch one day, and his car rolls up and stops, parks right in front of the house. And these three fine young ladies get out. One of them just happened to be a young lady that I met in high school. Hey, it's your Uncle Raulh here, and today I want to give you 2 reasons why most men don't mature until later in life. Now keep in mind, these are just my experiences. Reason number 1, most guys didn't get much attention from girls when they were younger. I did, so I matured a whole lot faster. And you can't tell by looking at me now, but when I was younger, I was a handsome young fella. Ever since I can remember, I got attention from women of all ages. I was that little boy that the grown women would look at and go, "Well, aren't you just adorable?" And I'd be like, "Yes," because I heard it so much. On top of that, I had a mother who told me and my brothers that you do not leave this house unless your teeth were brushed, hair was combed, body was washed, Vaseline on your face, and your clothes better be clean. Get caught outside not following these rules, and your ass was whooped. So in the neighborhood I grew up in, most 11-year-old boys didn't have mothers like mine. So they would go outside and come to school, breath stinking, clothes looked like they slept in them, hair not combed, smelling like pee, and being obnoxious to little girls. Now they're jealous of me, trying to figure out why I'm getting all the attention and they're not. I wonder why. Dude, you stink. So here I am in the playground, on the monkey bars, minding my own business, and I get punched in the stomach by one of these old stank breath, snot-nosed dudes. What the hell you punched me in my stomach for? Come to find out, he likes Wanda, but Wanda don't like him because his breath stank. He never combs his hair and he smell like pee. Now he's mad at me because she likes me and don't like him. And that's when the fight breaks out. Now here I am fighting over some girl I ain't even thinking about. Hell, I wasn't thinking about Wanda. I had my eyes on Celie. So I'm that good looking little boy that's fighting every day after school over some little girl that I ain't even want in the first place. But don't you worry none, cause that's what taught me how to throw these paws and protect myself over the years. So for all those stank breath dudes that jumped on me, appreciate you. Anyway, back to my point. Even some of the guys that I hung out with that did brush their teeth and comb their hair and okay, you know the rest. Couldn't understand why I wouldn't just go running after every little girl that showed me some attention. Here's the reason why. When you've been getting attention from little girls all your younger life, you get used to it. You also start to pay attention when these little girls start to talking. You begin to realize it's all about compatibility. It doesn't matter how pretty she is or how big her booty is. See, I learned this at an early age. My mother and father taught me by the time I was 10 years old, don't go running after every little girl that wants you when they start seeing all them little girls running after me. Boy, don't you go after every little girl that's running behind you. You gonna mess around and get the cooties.
Don't you bring no babies home. I am too young and too fine to be somebody's grandmother.
See, most guys didn't get that kind of attention when they were younger. So even if they had parents that did want to warn them, it never crossed their mind because the girls wasn't checking for their sons anyway. Now, if you had in there older guys in my neighborhood watching me get attention that they never got, these guys weren't good role models either. I remember sitting on my parents' porch one day, and his car rolls up and stops, parks right in front of the house. And these 3 fine young ladies get out. One of them just happened to be a young lady that I met in high school. Her mother loaned her the car, so she went and picked up a couple of her friends, and they rolled over to my house. So I'm sitting on the porch with these 3 fine young ladies, not realizing that the older guys in the neighborhoods, the ones that was like 27 years old, was watching me with these 3 fine women. So one of them says, "Hey, is it okay if I use your bathroom?" So I'm like, cool. So we all go into the house and she uses the bathroom. It was a hot day, so when she came out, we stayed in the house because the air conditioner was on. No problem. We're just sitting at the dining room table talking. About an hour later, they decide, hey, you know what, it's time for us to leave. So I walk them to their car, they get in, and they drive off. No big deal, right? Wrong. A few minutes after they leave, one of my 27-year-old male neighbors come outside and comes over to the porch and like, "Yo, Raulh, man, I seen you with them 3 fine women and you took them in the house too? Yo, man, I know you was hitting all 3 of them, wasn't you?" When I told him we was just in the house talking, his response was, okay, y'all was just talking, okay, I got you. Later, he proceeds to tell the other older males in the neighborhood what he thought he witnessed, and now all of a sudden, I'm the neighborhood player. You see where I'm going with this? Even when you tell guys who didn't get much attention from women when they were younger that nothing happened, they still don't believe. Mostly because they never got much attention when they were younger from women, they think with their little head and not the big one. Me being around 3 gorgeous women, it was no big deal. But for them, it should have turned into an orgy. Anyway, time goes on, and these 3 snot-nosed little boys that's in my age group began to realize in order to get some attention from women, they're gonna have to comb their hair, brush their teeth, put on clean clothes, and stop talking to these little girls like they think they're crazy. This usually happens when one of the girls, the most outspoken one, decides to tell them the truth about themselves. You ever see the movie House Party? Remember when Shireen told Martin's character Bilal?
Bilal, did anybody ever tell you your breath stinks?
That's usually the wake-up call for most guys. Unfortunately, most guys don't get that wake-up call until they start high school. The girls in high school will let you have it. They don't care. Now, one out of these three stanky, snot-nosed little boys realizes that he gotta comb his hair, brush his teeth, you know the rest, in order to get some attention from some of these little girls. Now add in there, he's getting a little taller, he's growing some muscles, his voice changes, so he's getting a little deep in the voice. And he understands that talking to these girls like he's been doing when he was younger, obnoxiously, ain't working for him no more. He gotta change all that up to get some play. Now his two snot-nosed friends start to realize that he's getting some attention, so they start to follow. Now here's where the problem lies. They're just now starting to get attention in high school that I was getting when I was 5 years old. This means that they're 10 years behind the getting attention from girls curve, and they don't know how to act. Imagine giving somebody who's never been taught how to handle money $1 million. As soon as they get that money in their hands, what you think they're gonna do? That's right, they're gonna spend it all, and before you know it, they ain't gonna have no money left, because they're making up for all the times that they've been broke. It's the same thing when they started getting attention from women. They haven't been prepared for this earlier in their life. Now you got these three knuckleheads running around betting each other who can get the most phone numbers and who can pull the most girls. They go out to the parties, and what do? Trying to see who can get the most phone numbers. Then, once they realize they can get phone numbers, now the bet turns into who's the first one that can get some. Unfortunately, for most guys, this goes on for years, even after high school. Why? Because they're years behind the learning curve that is not about how pretty she is or how big her booty is. It's all about compatibility. So now here you have three 22-year-olds running around doing the same thing they was doing when they were 16. They're now getting attention they used to dream of getting. So now they just making up for lost time. They're gonna take on every woman that gets them attention, even if they're not attracted to her, as long as she got a body they like. They saying stupid stuff like, man, I ain't turning down nothing but my collar. And because they don't have any older role models to teach them otherwise, it's almost a never-ending cycle. Which leads me to reason number 2. Peer pressure. Now one of them meets a woman that he really likes and he puts his energy into her, and guess what his two knucklehead friends do? Oh no! Oh no! Don't tell me you in love! Not my boy! Man, we're gonna have to pull your player's card for this. And instead of him just standing up to his two knucklehead friends, he claims that he just tells her he loves her so he can keep hitting it. You know how I do, boy, I'm a player, man, I'm a player, you know what I'm saying? Then she finds out what he said and dumps him. Now his heart is broken, but he still won't stand up to his two idiot friends. Now these two knuckleheads are telling him, come on out, let's meet some more women. And he falls for it and does it. And this cycle goes on and on and on. Hell, I know guys in their 40s and 50s who simply refuse to grow up because of their knucklehead friends, which pretty much makes him a knucklehead too. He's so busy worrying about what his boys are gonna say, he just goes from woman to woman trying to prove that he's not hurt over his girl, rather than go back to his girl, apologize so he can move forward in life with her. Think about it. You see it in the movies. When one of the three goes back and tells the other two that he found the woman of his dreams and he wants to get married, what do the other two do? They start teasing him. They start talking about taking his player's card, his gold player's card. You know, basically, they're going to kick him out the clubhouse. He's starting to grow up, and he's starting to learn what I learned when I was 10 years old, and he's damn near 40. It's about finding the woman that you click with, that woman that you share the same path with, and will complement each other, the one you're compatible with. But these two issues are a big problem with men maturing at an earlier age. They don't get much attention from girls at an early age, and they're dealing with peer pressure from their knucklehead little friends. Most guys won't mature until they get into their late 30s, and some of them not until they get into their late 40s. So ladies, all I can say is, shh. This is your Uncle Raulh. Somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me.